again. This is Scouter Peter. So, a couple weeks ago, actually it was last weekend, the Cubs went, we went for a hike, and since it's spring, it's a great time to be going along and collecting up garbage at the same time. So, rather than picking up wet, soggy, gross stuff from the winter, what I did is I took this old broom handle, and I'd already cut it for something else for a cub to add to their cub car. So I just cut it in half, and then I screwed a screw into the end, and then cut the head of the screw off at a little bit of an angle, just to make it a little bit sharper for picking stuff up. And then I did this one as well. And then for this one, I was putting the screw in, the wood split, so I had to wrap it in duct tape. So what I've suggested to the Cubs is they take some old broom handles like this one, or I found this stick in the garage, and what they can do is if they pre-drill a hole, put the screw in, and then cut the head off, they can make their own sticks for when they're going out and doing geocaching or family hikes and things like that. So they can be doing some community service and environmental project at the same time as doing what they normally do with their family. So I'm going to cut this stick, I think, into thirds. And so I'll use my handy dandy miter saw there. I'll cut this into thirds. I'll keep the birch stick the same length as it is now, and just put a screw in the end. And I will pre-drill and put the screws in. So you can see I've cut the sticks equal length, a little bit shorter than what I made previously, but maybe beavers will use it. And so I pre-drilled the holes. The old stick that I had, the old broomstick, that was really hard wood. It got a little bit of smoke from my drill bit, so I might have to actually drill those holes a little bit bigger. We'll go from there. So since I'm going to be cutting the heads off, and I really don't like Phillips screws anyways, I will sacrifice these ones, and I'll set aside my Robertson bits, and because I like these ones much better, so I will use the Phillips screws that I have. Alright, so I didn't have to enlarge the holes, and we got them screwed in quite nicely. So they're sticking out a little bit, or a fair amount, so there's a good purchase in the wood to hold the screw in. And now it's time to cut off the tips. All right, so welcome to another area of my workshop. So I have a Sawzall with a fairly well used metal cutting blade, and I have my vise here. So I've put the stick with the screw in it in a vise with some wood just to protect it, because my vise has rubber grips on it. Tighten it up, and now with the Sawzall I'll just go straight down, and that should do it, and then rinse and repeat. End result, head went flying somewhere down into my stuff, my scrap bin. Just undo the vise, undo the vise, there we go. And now it's not a really sharp point, but sharp enough to stab through most garbage, and someone can use that for doing a garbage pickup. So I'll do that for the other 3 pieces still to do, and away we go. And there we go, there's the end result. You can see cut on a bit of an angle with the Sawzall, so it's fairly sharp, but those will dull up fairly quickly. These first 2, one I did with a hacksaw, which was hard to do in the miter box. And then the other one, I started with the hacksaw, and then I used a pair of vice grips just to wiggle it back and forth, and then it broke off. So you can see it broke off fairly straight, but still the youth were able to use it for when they were picking up garbage. So now I've got 6 sticks, varying lengths, that can be used for collecting garbage, so you don't have to use your hands. Little project for personal achievement badges builder. And then you use them for environmental projects and community service. Covers a lot of bases in one shot.